Ever feel like everyone's speaking this other language, like some kind of secret code, and you never got the decoder ring?
Hmm.
Well, today's deep dive, we're cracking that code. We're talking coding, but chill. You don't need to be like some tech genius to follow along.
Yeah, this isn't about turning you into programmers overnight, right? It's more like understanding why coding matters, even if you never actually write code yourself.
And I think this article you sent is the perfect place to start. 5 ways to teach kids programming quickly at home. Now, hold on. I know what you're thinking. I don't have kids. This isn't for me. But trust me on this one. Today's deep dive. It's about how coding's kind of becoming relevant for everyone, you know?
Yeah, and what's wild is how much it's changed. Like, back in the day, coding was this niche skill, right?
Mm.
But now it's basically fundamental, like English or math, but for the digital age, you know?
It's like suddenly everyone's got to be fluent in computer, or they're left behind.
It's true, though. Think about it. Every time you open an app or browse online, even just use your smart fridge, there's code behind all of that. It's the engine driving our whole digital world.
I'll admit, when the article pointed that out, my mind kind of went boom. Like, yeah, I knew websites and apps had code, but even just watching a YouTube video, that's code making that happen. It's like finding out gravity's just invisible elephants holding everything down.
And that's the point, right? It's not just some Silicon Valley thing anymore. Every industry, healthcare, finance, even like farming, it's all tech-driven now, which means knowing at least a little bit of code that's becoming valuable everywhere.
It's like understanding how this digital world around us actually works. That's a key skill in itself now.
Absolutely. And that's where I loved the article's comparison, coding to Legos.
Oh, yeah. Breaking those big, overwhelming tasks into tiny steps, right? Like, you don't build a Lego masterpiece all at once.
Exactly. It's about logic, problem solving. That's the core skill, whether you're coding or just planning your day. That ability to break things down, it applies everywhere.
It's that click feeling, right? When you finally assemble that complicated IKEA bookshelf, the accomplishment is not about the bookshelf itself, it's the puzzle you solve to get there.
And coding, it really exercises those mental muscles,
Yeah.
patterns, problem solving, thinking ahead. It's like a brain push-up, you know?
Okay, I'm getting how this is way bigger than just building websites. But real talk, the thing that always scared me off about coding, the languages. Java, Python, C++. It's like, are we ordering coffee or summoning demons?
I get that, and the article actually addresses this directly. The good news is, it's less about memorizing a specific language, more about the underlying logic.
So it's less about the words themselves, more like understanding the grammar, how to structure your thoughts, no matter what language you're using.
Exactly. Think of it like learning Spanish versus French. Totally different words, but the core communication skills, those are the same.
Okay, that makes it way less scary. So once you get those core principles, switching between coding languages becomes easier.
Exactly. You start seeing the patterns, the shared logic. It's adapting, not starting from zero each time.
Okay, that I can get behind. But let's be honest. Someone's listening to this right now thinking, this is fascinating and all, B-U-T. I'm not becoming a programmer tomorrow, so what's the big deal?
And that's the key question, right? Why should you care about code even if you never write a single line yourself?
Give us the so what.
Okay, here's where it gets good. In a world run by tech, understanding how code works, even a little, makes you a more informed person, period. You can evaluate tech news better, make smarter choices about the products you use. It's like leveling up your digital literacy.
It's like the difference between just reading a headline and actually understanding the whole story behind it. You're engaging with the world on a deeper level. It's like you're not just along for the ride anymore, right?
Yeah.
You can actually see the engine, understand how it works.
Exactly. And think about it this way. Your kid's homework. Imagine actually getting those coding assignments instead of just nodding along like, algorithms, very nice.
Okay, ouch, that one hit a little close to home. I've definitely been there. Staring at some line of code like, so this makes the little guy jump? How?
It's like they're speaking Klingon at that point.
Right. But even knowing a little code, you can have those conversations, not just with kids, with anyone who uses tech, which is kind of everyone these days.
You're like a bridge between the digital and the real world suddenly. You got their struggles, you can relate, even appreciate what they do more, maybe.
Exactly. It builds empathy, you know. Knowing how much work goes into even a simple app, the problem solving, it changes how you see tech.
That's a side of it I hadn't thought about. It's easy to get mad when a website crashes, but you never picture the actual humans who built it. Right. And understanding their process, it helps you communicate better, too. If you know what's possible with code, what's hard, you can explain what you need more clearly, whether it's work stuff Or just giving feedback on an app.
Instead of just being like, make it do the thing,
Yeah.
you get it now.
Exactly. And this ties back to, getting kids into coding, too. The article talked about that, and one big takeaway was,
Games, which, come on, who doesn't love a good game? Kids are drawn to them, so why not use that to teach them how to build their own?
and this isn't just for kids either, okay? The article talked about gamification for a reason. Adding game-like stuff, challenges, rewards. It makes anything more fun to learn.
Oh, 100%. I'm way more likely to stick with something if it feels like a game, not homework. Staring at code never sounded thrilling before,
Yeah.
but if I can connect it to something I enjoy.
Right. So find your coding hook, what interests you. Don't force yourself into something boring. The cool thing about code is it applies to so many fields.
Like the article said, there are a zillion coding languages for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Different tools for different jobs. It's about finding the one that fits your creative vision.
Exactly. So love music, check out coding for sound design, into art. There's a whole world of generative art out there. Data visualization, game dev, web design. It's endless.
It's not about being a coder. It's about how coding fits into your world, your passions. Like you're unlocking a whole new skill set. And the cool thing is, you don't have to become like some coding master to benefit, right? Even just dipping your toes in can open up new ways of thinking.
Oh, totally. And you know what really struck me? The article talked about this growth mindset, right? Like, we're not limited to what we're good at now. We can learn anything.
It's like that whole, I don't know how to do that yet. That yet is powerful, man. Learning never stops.
Right. And that's huge for something like coding, which seems so intimidating to a lot of people. But the article's point is, it's doable if you've got the right attitude. And if that's true, what else could we achieve if we thought that way about everything?
Whoa, okay, now we're getting deep. So this wasn't just about coding. It was about like unlocking our own potential. That's kind of awesome.
Exactly. And remember, this was just one little deep dive spurred by your curiosity and that article.
Exactly. But hopefully, listener, we've got you curious now too.
There's a whole world of this stuff out there. And hey, who knows? Maybe next time you're on your phone browsing around, you'll see it differently. Like, I kind of get how they built this now.
I know I will. This whole deep dive, it's like I was looking at the digital world backwards before.
That's the best part of learning, right? It can completely change how you see things, open up all these new possibilities.
So on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into the Matrix. Keep those brains buzzing out there. And remember, the only limit to what you can learn is the one you set for yourself. Until next time.